In this video, I'm gonna stay up from dusk till dawn and embrace the summer night magic. Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto. I'm a photographer and a Lumix ambassador from Helsinki, Finland. And this is the midsummer, and the nights are bright and short and the days are long. And I've decided to stay up all night and shoot some photos and embrace the summer night magic. It's 11 o'clock p.m. right now, and the sunset was just about 10 minutes ago, and the sunrise will be just before 4 o'clock in the morning. So I have just a little bit less than 5 hours to complete my shooting. And my camera today is the Lumix G90 with the Leica 25mm f1.4 lens. And some of you may wonder why I'm not using my G9 to make this shoot, but the G9 is my video camera today, so I'm using both the G90 and the G9, and the G9 is my video camera because it's much better video camera than the G90. And I love these long days and short nights, short bright nights. But I don't do this often enough. I mean, photograph in the middle of the night. And after every summer, sometime in August, when the days are getting shorter and shorter really fast, I remind myself, why didn't I shoot more or stay up more and shoot more pictures in the middle of the night when the nights were still bright? So tonight I decided to fix that and at least stay up one night this summer and shoot all night and see what I can get and if I can somehow capture the summer night magic. The quality of light is absolutely stunning right now. It's really nice and soft and smooth and warm and really beautiful, and it's hard not to make some great pictures in this light, but I expect it to get a little bit trickier towards maybe 1 or 2 o'clock when the darkest time of the night is. Then the sky is relatively bright, but everything in the foreground is relatively dark. But we're gonna see what happens then and if I can catch something interesting also a little bit later tonight. It's almost midnight now, and as you can see, there's still plenty of daylight left. And I really do love these long days or bright nights, but I still might be ready to move some of these daylight hours from June to December, because the winter, the darkest time of the winter, is really dark and gloomy over here in Helsinki. So it's midnight and I still have no trouble shooting handheld at base ISO 200 on my Lumix G90. The IBIS is excellent, but still there's quite a lot of light here, and I can get exposures like f2, 15th of a second, 8th of a second at ISO 200, and that's no trouble hand holding that. It's now 1:30 in the morning, and this is about as dark as it gets. And it's been pretty interesting to walk here on these almost empty streets and see how the light changes and trying to capture some of the summer night magic. And now I'm gonna show you what I've captured so far, and then I'm gonna continue. I still have about 2.5 hours to go before the sun rises. It's quite dark now. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I occasionally have to bump up my ISO to about 400, 800 to be able to shoot at f2 and 1/15th of a second or so, but I still think it's pretty amazing how much light there is at this time of the night. Alright, less than 2 hours to go, and it's been really amazing and interesting to walk here on these empty streets. There are some cyclists also here this early in the morning. So far it's been really great and pretty amazing experience, and I really have to do this more often in the future. Okay, now it's about 3:30 and the sunrise is in about 20 minutes. And I have to say that I was surprised how easy it was to shoot during the darkest hour between around 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. I thought the sky would be way too bright compared to the rest of the scene, but that was not the case, and I think I got some really nice shots during that darkest hour of the night. Let's talk a bit about the exposure values I have used tonight. My f-stops have been between 1.4 and 4. My exposure times have been between 100th of a second and half a second. And my ISO between 200 and 800. And it looks like I may have been a bit too conservative with my exposure times, because I know for sure that I can handhold at least 1 second with this combination. So I probably could have used ISO 200 all night if I just wanted to. But it doesn't really matter. Anything up to ISO 3200 is good in my opinion with this combination. I wasn't trying to get the best possible technical pictures or technical quality tonight. I was trying to capture the mood, and my plan was to shoot handheld all night, whatever it takes. And to be honest, I was prepared to push the ISO even higher up if necessary, but it was not necessary because there was so much light even between 1 and 2 o'clock when it was the darkest hour. The sunrise is going to be in about 10 minutes, and I think now is a good time to compare the early morning light and the late evening light a little bit, because the light around sunset and sunrise is very similar, very soft and warm. But there's one major difference. In the evening, when the sun starts to set, the light will generally get better and better the lower the sun gets, until the light fades away eventually. But up until then, the light generally gets better and better. But in the morning, when the sun goes higher and higher, the light gradually gets worse and worse all the time, the higher the sun gets. And also, in some climates, it also gets unbearably hot when the sun goes high enough. It's never a problem here in Helsinki, but in some climates or in some parts of the world, it really is a problem. So I think the late evening light or the light around sunset is generally better light than this early morning light. Let me now show you another set of pictures that I shot tonight. It's now 3:50 in the morning and the sunrise. And I have to say, these past 5 hours went really fast. And I'm also kind of surprised that I probably got my best pictures between around 1 and 2 o'clock in the night, when there was the least amount of daylight and all the artificial lights dominated the scene. I expected to get the best pictures right after the sunset. And I also thought it would be trickier to shoot during the darkest hour. I thought the sky would be way too bright compared to the rest of the scene, but that was not the case. So I guess this was kind of a learning experience too, in that sense. And That's all good. When you learn new things, you may become a better photographer. It looks like it's gonna be another pretty day, but I feel a little bit tired now and I think it's time to go and get some sleep. Thanks for hanging around with me tonight, and I'll see you again in the next one.